Hello guys, I bring you good news from the camp of the UK NMC with regards to their English language requirements. This is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So if you want to know what is transpiring at the moment, then stay tuned and then watch this video till the end. I really appreciate you for seeing once more. I'm always happy for you watching my videos. Probably if today is your first time seeing me, my name is Sister Kunachuma and you can simply call me Kobe. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button right under this video and then become part of the family so that you get any new updates that come up from the camp of the UK NMC, from nursing in the UK and then whatever. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the new updates the UK NMC has come up with regards to their English language requirements. A few weeks ago, or let me say some months ago, probably the UK NMC made some changes with regards to the English language requirement, which was implemented on the 8th of February 2023. They had to renew how you combine two IELTS results or two OET results. That they had to extend the duration with which one can combine two IELTS or two OET results. That they had to reduce the writing score to 6.0 so that at least you can combine them, and some other things that came up. I received an email from the UK NMC with regards to new changes that have come up. And in the previous changes that did happen, they were to actually consider people who have written out of OET and has lost a margin of 0.5 in one of the models. But they said that later in the year, probably they were going to do something about it, and that is one of the changes I'll be talking about. And then secondly, I'll be talking about employer reference. What have they done to it? Are they stopping it? I mean, what at all have they said about this? Let's dive into it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read the letter or the email I received, and then I'll explain alongside. Probably it's actually understandable, but I'll try as much as possible to add my voice to it so that at least you get a better understanding of it. So let's jump into it. Writing to update you on the changes to our English language requirements that were agreed by our council following our consultation in 2022. We started implementing the changes in February 2023, and I'm pleased to let you know that from next week we would have completed implementation. So there were two more things they needed to add up, and that is what they are trying to mean. That by next week, all these two things should be added up. The changes we made in February were, so these are the changes they made. I've made a complete video about it. You can check that on here, okay, or check in the description box to look at the changes. But whatever it is, I've made mention of them at the early part of this video. So let's move on to look at the implementation they are coming up with, or the addition they are coming up with next week. It's good news for anyone who is struggling to pass the IELTS or has got the IELTS readily available but has lost 0.5 in one of the models. Changes we are implementing this weekend. We are making changes to our system this weekend. That means that from next week we are going to look at the first changes, and that is to accept supporting information from employers for people who missed the required test score in one language domain only by no more than 0.5 in the IELTS or half a grade in OET. So what they are trying to say is that initially they were supposed to consider this as part of the implementation, but what they said was that they were looking at some technical changes, and as a matter of fact, we should give them some months to rectify that. Now, I think that has been rectified, and what they are saying is that they will begin to accept employer reference from people who wrote the IELTS or the OET and probably lost a 0.5 mark in one of the models or half a grade in one of the models in the OET. So that is the first addition they're going to come up with next week. So what they are saying is that by next weekend, they will have fully automated the process of accepting supporting information from employers. This is for both applicants who train in English in a country where English is not a majority spoken language, who previously had to use the manual process, whatever it is, and then applicants who just missed the required test score as outlined above. So what this means is that probably there are two categories of people who can use the employer reference, and they are those who missed 0.5 in one of the models in the IELTS or half a grade in one of the models in the OET, and those who train in countries that English is not a majority spoken language but have worked in the UK for quite some time now in a health and social care setting and probably can prove that their trainings were done in English. So these are the two categories of people who can use the employer reference, and what they are saying is that the automation the system to help line managers sign this employer reference for you will come up next week. I think it's good news, and we all have to be happy because I know friends who are patiently waiting for this to come up, and then just try to use that to maneuver their way to register with the UK NMC. So I think it's a step in the right direction that whoever is waiting on the employer reference actually will be happy about. Okay, so what they are saying here is that we now manage this process through NMC Online to give us assurance of the authenticity of the information. So what this means is that they'll be managing the employer reference from the NMC Online. So when you create an NMC Online account, I think you have an option on there. It's not yet out, so it will be very difficult to describe how it is. But whatever it is, it should be on the NMC Online. It should be part of your portal. So at the end of the day, it can easily be accessed. And then what they are saying is that it's a way to prove the originality of the information your line manager is giving out. Applicants will be able to find out how to submit supporting information from employers by logging into NMC Online. I think this is going to be an easy thing because I'm even looking at their NMC portal or the dashboard. It's quite easy. I mean, the processes have been outlined for you, and that whichever one is done, at least you see the green tick indicating that you've completed that session. So they adding it to the NMC Online account. I think it's a good thing that would probably help. Okay, so we know some applicants have already sent us supporting information from employers using the previous manual process. Those applicants do not need to do anything different. The applications will continue. So the employer reference has been implemented long ago, but they were just trying to look at how easy to make it a possibility or how to automate it on their system so that it's easier for everybody. So for those who qualify to use the employer reference, what they said was that they should go through the normal process, and then probably when they get to the point of disclosing their English language proficiency, the UK NMC will come in and then interrogate them further to see the way forward. So what they are saying here is that if you've already submitted your employer reference, you don't have to do anything different. I mean, just continue. So basically, this is the update that has come out from the camp of the UK NMC. Thank you very much for being with me up to this point. I believe that whatever I've shared with you here will go a long way to help you. I know you would want other people to hear this information as well. So don't hesitate to share it to as many people as you can and on all platforms. And also like so that YouTube will know the relevance of this video. Then share it to as many people as they can. Thank you very much and hope to see you in my next video. Bye.